Anyone with 5s are using Berserk mode, so 1830, good luck. We've not played before, no head-to-head score. 1500 nearly games of rapid for my punt. I'm just coming up to 300. So we're just playing a normal carrow here. You can pretty much pre-move d5. I'm going to go with the queen this time. The pawn is actually the better move. The engine will tell you this is a mistake, but it just breaks up the normal standard theory. Just a little bit of variety. Let's develop. Just make sure the queen can drop back. Otherwise, I'm just going to try and get developed in castle in some way, shape or form. Okay, so I'm now going to go pawn forward, still making sure the queen can safely drop back. So knight up, bishop up and castle. I could even potentially go g6, but let's just see how the game pans out. Okay, launches one forward, so I can actually develop the bishop with a check. It's just I might be committed to have to take. Say if you block with the bishop. Okay, and get the cursor off the board so there's no accidental slips, especially while the queen's under attack. Yeah, bishop up, so I'm going to take, so probably the queen straight back now. Takes with the queen. I think just all the way back and try and get the knights into play. I could bring knight to e7 and the other knight to f6, I guess. But I don't want to really delay castling. Yeah, once I move a knight, queen down is an option. He's going to try and push the pawn forward fairly quickly. Actually, if I do this, queen down could be a bit of a nuisance, couldn't it? So I'm not going to go here, so I guard the bishop and then I've got the option to castle. I was hoping to get both knights to guard this, but I don't think I can, so I'll just get castled. So I don't think I can really stop the d5 push, but as long as I'm not worse off. Obviously I might end up being worse off, we'll just see how it pans out. So where does this knight go? Here? I'm assuming I just drop back here. I don't think I should take, at least not now. I don't think my opponent will play g4, that feels a bit bold, but you might do. Oh, he has done, wow. Now again, it's probably a bit bold for me to just take there, so I'm not going to waste time. I'm just going to drop back. Now knight forward might be a move, and he's kind of pushed me into it. I think it's a perfectly good move, so I'm going to play it. Okay, so knight up, but obviously I'm not going to f6 anytime soon. Maybe f6 itself might be a move, but I can't really still stop pawn coming forward at some point. So queen up. I assume I should just drop back here, target the pawn. I expect the pawn will push forward. And then I need to decide where the knight's going to go. Not an easy choice, probably here to here. Yeah, I need to start slowing down. Our opponent's using the time a little bit wiser here. I'm playing a little bit quickly out of the opening. Oh, king forward I didn't expect. There is some good common sense to it though. f6 just feels wrong. I think I need the knight up in one of these. So if I go here, I can come here, but then I'm not going anywhere. Here, here. I'm going to go here possibly to drop back. Could get a little bit sharp this if the rooks start to really fly across the board. But I'd expect one of the rooks to land here with a view to blasting it up. Yeah, he's launching forward. I wonder if I can do bishop here and trade it off. That feels wrong though. I'm looking at rook across to push here as well. So again, rook across, you'd probably come over, get the queen out the way. I'm going to centralize the rook, so at least it's a possibility to try and go forward at some point. Even if it's not any time soon. It also means the knight can come back. Well, this is obviously getting a little bit dangerous here now. So queen up might be a move, but not sure quite what I'm achieving there. Maybe queen to b6. While knight's come forward, that should be a good trade for me if I can get the knight off. I'm going to do that, and then maybe queen across. It'd be very nice to get the queen off. I thought the queen was going to take. Okay, well, my bishop's not at any risk of getting trapped. Can I push? I don't think I can. So I'm just looking at queen b6 off of the queen trade. If you come down, I take rook across, and the queen's trapped, right? So here, down, if I take here. Oh, I've got one square here, but then you're crashing through. So queen here, pawn down. Don't want to take the pawn. So I'm just going to go here slowly and steadily and try and activate the rook. Yeah, it's getting quite a dangerous attack building up. If we can get the queens off the board, it's obviously should be in principle easier to defend, but that's easier said than done. So I'm just looking at right now at centralizing the rooks, maybe trade some rooks somewhere or double up. F6 feels like a crazy move, but you still got to look at it. Takes, 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 queen across. No, that just feels wrong. Rook across, there is a pawn loose, so I've got to still be aware of that. Here, if you take, I take, you take here. That feels a little bit risky as well. So does pawn up. So here, take, 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 queen takes. Bishop check. I guess you can just simply block. It's not without risk, is it? Not without risk. Pawn up is a natural move, but then you've got bishop up. I'm going to spend a move pushing this pawn. But again, now it does weaken a square. It's not without risk as well, but trying to now play rook across. So now that does potentially give me a square here. Might not ultimately be able to use it, but there's potential there. But see, I do have a backward pawn now. Yeah, rook forward, so this is a bit of a problem unless I can do something like this. So I might actually have to play a move like f6 because he's going to go here. If I take, that's a real problem, so I don't want to take, so I'm going to end up running. Pawn up's no good. So I'm going to get the queen out of there with a view to trying to swing across the board. I must get the rook moved though, especially if he doubles up, otherwise my rook's in real danger. I don't want to take and give him a protected passed pawn. That feels very, very bad. Doing very well, my opponent here, so I could be in a lot of trouble this one. So yeah, I need to try and stay up that little bit on the clock, just to try and put a little bit of pressure on. So queen up or queen up look natural to target the pawn. Here, I'm still threatening this pawn, so you've got to try and keep it under guard. So I think I just need to move across here. Then what do you do? If you come forward, yeah, it might be better going across too. Just so I guard the pawn. If you come forward, at least that's guarded, so the queen's free. There is a pawn under attack, but that's what I really want. I really want to switch sides. Queen's a bit out of the game right now. And again, f6, I still don't think it's really playable. I mean, the queen would come crashing through. Very difficult position. Okay, a pawn forward. Logical. So I think I need queen up here. Just to target this. If you do this, then I can check. Queen's off, and I can drop back. Or just trade the bishop, or just drop back anywhere. So I'm going to go here. Pawn up, it allows the check. We can trade the queen here. I've still got the option to drop back. Then if you ever take, I can block the rook in. Okay, so gone there. So am I getting trapped? Actually, am I getting trapped? I mean, I've got a square here, but that's about it, isn't it? If you go there, Oh, then I've got the check and I can get the queen off though. So here creates the same threat. But what about pawn up? I like the look of pawn up. You don't have bishop back in one move. So up, pawn down, I can then come here. Takes, takes, takes. Again, it's not without a lot of risk. There would be a check. Or queen down. Here, then I'm getting the bishop off the board. I'm going to push the pawn. I'm going to take a risk. I want to try and open things up on this side. Create some counterplay even if it doesn't really exist. So if you take, I'll take the h-pawn, I think. If you push, then I've got a dilemma. Do I actually try and take the pawn, or do I just come across? There's no bishop here in one move. And I suppose if you do put the bishop there, it frees up this square for the queen. But boy, it's not easy, is it? Not easy. Just click anywhere on the board and it clears your markings. Get the cursor off the board so there's no accidental slips, while we wait to see what white does. But yeah, my queen is just completely out of the game right now, but hopefully we'll get active. Okay, queens come forward. So if I take, you're going to take here. And, I don't see anything else to play right now. I don't think I can move this pawn forward. I assume you take with a pawn, not the queen. With a queen, once the queen comes off, it should be easy to play, but it could be a very losing trade for me. It could be. But queen here, I might just look at a move like queen up. Even if with the pawn as well. Let's just see what white decides. Here it goes with a pawn. So I've got queen up and queen up as the two main moves I'm looking at. The bishop's not currently guarded. So queen on either square. Say rook forward. Maybe just the queen here. There's not a lot there, is there? So what about pawn here? Threatening to simply win a pawn. If you take and I take the rook, there is a back rank issue. I can drop the rook back. You take, I take. You can then plant the other rook forward, but it's opening things up, but feels a bit risky. I don't know if I want this or this. I'm going to go here. I hit the bishop. I threaten a check to get the queen off, potentially. Bishop here, I think I can take the rook. So if you go there, I think I can take. You might have bishop takes. He has gone there with the rook. So now I've got the option to check and force the queen off. Bishop here and then box the rook in. That's what I was looking at. So that's what I'm going to do. It could be a blunder, of course, but I think I can drop back. Oh, he didn't. I was expecting bishop there. So I'm going to drop back and now try and start opening things up. But I've got to give my king a square as well. Challenge the open file if the rook comes across. Okay, so he has indeed gone there. Now I can maybe take back with this pawn. So I'm going to push here. I'm going to go with this pawn if he takes. And then I think I'm kind of better. There's pressure on the pawn. The king can finally start stepping forward. Maybe I've got rook up to look to trade the rook and bring my pawn across. And then it's a case of trying to challenge for the open file. King here might be better than if you come down. I've got this. Kings come forward. So what about rook up to double up here? What about rook here? Rook here, I think you've got this. If I go here, you might end up getting rook down and pawn forward. So I'm going to come across over. So I've got the option to go here. I want to try and free the rook up on the free file, but I don't want rook here grabbing a pawn. That's what he's gone for now. So it must be right to challenge this now. I just have to be solid with my pawns, and then potentially I've got a passed pawn at some point. So do I worry about guarding this? I can go here, then king across here. I can't chase the rook away very well. I've got tempo to go here, but you can guard. But can I let him go here and push? King across, take. Just push. Interesting, but I don't think it quite works. So I'm just looking at the simpler rook up rather than going behind. If I go behind, I can push though, can't I? Here. Threatening to take. So here, if I ever push and you go here, I can't guard my pawn. But if I go here, then I can't push. Here you just take. Here. Spend a move here. Here takes rook across, just looking to push the pawn. Feels too risky. That's kind of my instinctive move, but then I think I've got no counterplay whatsoever. Yeah, I'm going to go up one. I've got to try and create some counterplay. I've got nothing here at all. But if my king was here now, I couldn't stop this pawn push. At least I've got the option to take, even if I lose this one. Or here, maybe across. I guess you can just simply sidestep. That's the problem with this position. He has indeed gone for that. So, can I go up now and allow this and take? I think I need to take. Oh, he didn't even take back. Okay. Well, I think I can risk it then. I'm going here with a view to check, and I'm going to try and run. I know there's a checkmate threat, man. That's a bit of a problem. Actually, there is a bit of a problem, isn't it? It's a checkmate threat, this. Let's check. If he goes here, I can take a pawn with check. If he goes this way, I can start running, but he's going to collect all these pawns. So up, down, I can pin. If we trade, you take. I push. I'm quicker, aren't I? I think I can push, and if you go here, I think I pin the rook, and I think I'm queening. So if we trade, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves. And I only need 3 moves. I think I'm much faster. I think I'm winning. I think he's miscalculated it, getting low on time. Been an interesting game though. I've been on the back foot for most of it. But he's down to 20 seconds now. That's a very good win. Excellent.